talked about Australia. Why is Fauci? Why has no one in this administration expressed concern over Australia? You're talking about people who expressed concern that the Taliban's cabinet wasn't diverse enough. We didn't say that you said that. We said that the fact that you even alluded to, well, maybe, who knows, it's too early to tell, means that, look, you're okay with this being a never-ending pandemic. Fauci, now, this is something, he was just interviewed about this yesterday, I believe. Yeah. In case you thought the goalposts hadn't moved enough. Now this is what I said. Look, your civil protest is enjoying your holiday. Christmas, and of course, you know, if they're talking about Christmas right now, they're going to do the same thing with Thanksgiving. They did it last year. Have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Who knew that Dickens was going to be the anarchist cookbook?
Just take some photos and post them.
Here's Fauci saying it may be too soon to tell if we can celebrate Christmas.
But we can gather for Christmas, or it's just too soon to tell?
You know, Margaret, it's just too soon to tell. We've just got to concentrating on continuing to get those numbers down and not try to jump ahead by weeks or months.
Okay, so here's something that people need to take into it. What's the number? We've never heard that. What's the number? They mocked Rand Paul for talking about herd immunity. Then Fauci said 70% for herd immunity as far as how many people need to be vaccinated. Then it went to 75, 80. We need to get the numbers down. The numbers are down.
Yeah.
The numbers are down dramatically. I'll have them for you. So I need to know, okay, Fauci, come onto a show that gets significantly more numbers than whatever you were doing there on Sunday, and you can talk to people, convince them, change their minds, give them a number. People don't trust you because what you've said has been factually incorrect. You've also twisted information, and you haven't given specifics for these broad, sweeping generalizations that, of course, result in a net loss of more and more freedoms. We need to focus on getting the numbers down. Okay, well, let me give you a couple of numbers. We have a trend, of course, in hospitalizations with COVID since their peaks at the beginning of August. Mm-hmm. Oh, I guess towards the end of August, beginning of September. Yeah. Florida dropped 65%. Okay? 16,000 to 5. Texas dropped 40%. Hawaii dropped 62%. Georgia dropped 41%. Also, we've seen 7-day moving the average death rate, which is the number that they use. Those have gone down. Louisiana down 53%. Mississippi down 59%. Florida down 95%. What's the number, Fauci?
Yeah. Did Florida make any major changes, by the way, when those numbers started to go up? Did Texas reinstitute lockdowns and make sure that everybody had masks in every possible setting, including being outside in the forest by yourself, making sure a tree fell and made noise? No, I didn't see that, but their numbers went down dramatically. Hawaii did.
They're still releasing attack ads. Florida's a great example because they're still releasing attack ads against Florida.
Yeah.
Right? You have the deaths have gone down 7-day average 95%, and their cases 65%. Sorry, their hospitalizations 65% lower, and their 7-day rolling death 95% lower. Okay, so 95% reduction in deaths. That's not, what's the number, Fauci?
Yeah.
When do you praise something as a success? Now, we know early on you praise New York as a success. You praise Michigan as a success, even though they had horrible numbers, which again goes to tell you that this isn't a man who is following numbers, data, science. Something else really concerning. We've talked about Australia. Why is Fauci? Why has no one in this administration expressed concern over Australia? You're talking about people who expressed concern that the Taliban's cabinet wasn't diverse enough. So they are not beyond intervening, regardless of cultural standards. Yeah. Why have none of our leaders said, oh, look, of course, look, you're talking about quarantine camps that are going to be built in Australia through 2024. Yeah. That is not us. We will not institute a national mandate on everybody. We are not going to lock you down and have a curfew. No one has spoken out against women being chokeslammed for walking their dog after curfew.
I saw the best tweet. It was just that Fauci doesn't want Christmas because he doesn't want to go back to the North Pole and make toys. I laughed for 5 minutes.
I'm going to be a dentist. But here's why they haven't spoken out against Australia. Listen to Fauci. First off, we have another clip, or secondly, we'll have a clip of him, what he said about people who are vaccinated, which he's now, again, gone against completely. And what matters is that people followed his advice. But also talking about your rights or your perceived rights. This is a man who says the quiet part out loud with total disregard for your rights. This was only a couple of days ago.
Indeed, you do have personal liberties for yourself, and you should be in control of that.
Well, good.
But
That's
you
fantastic.
are a member of society.
Oh, no.
And as a member of society, reaping all the benefits of being a member of society, you have a responsibility
Oh boy,
to society.
here it comes.
No.
And I think each of us, particularly in the context of a pandemic that's killing millions of people, you have got to look at it and say there comes a time when you do have to give up
No.
what you consider your individual right of making your own decision for the greater good of society. That if you are vaccinated, you have a very high degree of protection, and therefore you do not need to wear a mask.
By the way, if I say that right now, we get banned right now. Wherever you're watching this, we get banned, which is why we have a mirror channel on Rumble. And, of course, you can watch the extra show on Mug Club. You know, he says what you perceive, what you believe are your liberties. Hey, how would you define our liberties, Fauci? Shouldn't that be a part of what you take into consideration here? How would you? He's never discussed that.
Yeah.
I only follow the science. Okay, 95% lower deaths, 65% lower hospitalizations in Florida. You're saying millions are dying. Well, not in Florida. And again, This is a regional issue. This is a state-to-state issue. Isn't it wonderful? Don't you understand federalism? But when you say what people perceive as their rights, Fauci, okay, since you're the one who is defining rights, define them. What do I have? My own. Where does my bodily autonomy end and your misinformation, for example, like on AIDS, begin? Oh, hold on. Fauci's talking. And is this current? Because now he has his glasses.
President
He's one of the
Biden.
few guys
Dr.
who looks
Fauci,
better
thanks
with
for
glasses because of his beady little shark eyes.
Yes.
that we are turning the
He
corner.
looks less like crap.
Oh, this is live.
Yeah, it's live. Let's see what he
Living
says.
with COVID or being completely rid of COVID-19?
I like your sweater. Brings out your eyes.
Well, Kate, I don't think we're going to be, at least in the
Take it
near
off.
future, completely rid of COVID-19 for a number of reasons.
I'd be out of
No
a job.
one's saying we'll be completely rid. And by the way, no one is saying that COVID is fun. For you, is it an ouchie versus an injury? The standard is do we get completely rid of it?
Country, but then there's the rest of the world. As long as you have circulating virus in those other countries, many countries that don't have the resources that we do, then you have the danger of there being new variants that'll come in. And that's one of the reasons why we say, and it's appropriate to say, that the response to a global pandemic is a global response.
There you
not
go.
only within our own country. And
There
we
you
are
go.
working
New deaths,
to get a
10%
lot
down.
of doses, many
Global
doses,
response.
literally hundreds.
Sounds a little bit like globalist.
A little.
It does.
Minus the ist.
It's you may think. So what did he say before? He said, you may not listen. You may think you have that freedom, but as long as it's in the United States, you don't. Now you tie it to the world. As long as people in the world outside of this country who live in countries that, by the way, don't actually have freedoms or recognize them or care about them. As a matter of fact, they abhor them. As long as people in those countries are affected, your perceived freedoms don't matter in the face of the greater good. This is terrifying. Keep listening.
Is that we still have so many people who are not vaccinated that we better be careful that we don't say we're out of the woods, because we might not be out of the woods in the sense of no more COVID around at all.
What is it you do here?
I also said something over the weekend that was taken
It's
completely
unbelievable.
out of context.
I'm a
I was
pitbull
asked,
person.
What could
here.
you predict for this winter, for like December
You said
and
it's taken out of
Christmas?
I was
context.
going to ask you.
Yeah, I mean, I say you hold off on that. I said, we don't know, because we've seen slopes that went down and then
Easy.
came back
Whoa.
up. The
That
best
is
way
just to be clear, that's the
assure
exact context in which we took it.
Yes.
get into the winter
Yeah.
would be to get
It's
more
bad
and more
enough.
people vaccinated.
He's referring to his last trip to Thailand.
And spend Christmas
believe it.
with our families, which was absolutely not the case. I will be spending.
No,
Christmas
you're straw
with
manning.
my
We didn't say that
family.
you said that. We said that the fact that you even alluded to, well, maybe, who knows, it's too early to tell, means that, look, you're okay with this being the never-ending pandemic.
Yeah.
At this point, it is reasonable, and it would be following the science to say, of course you can celebrate Christmas. No one said that you told them nobody could ever celebrate Christmas or nobody could celebrate Christmas this year. We said, Fauci said it's too early to tell if you can celebrate Christmas, and that's enough.
Watch Louder with Crowder live, Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern.